Welcome back to the railroad. Quick update. Keep you all informed. I actually have two new engines. I got footage of me buying them. I don't remember. Either way, I don't know why my head's doing that. Ignore me. We have our new like refueling station. So an engine once it's out of like logs or logs or water comes over here, gets water, it gets fuel, and it can go back out. We're gonna be building a turntable somewhere off that way, probably. Something else I want to do is go ahead and build a probably a connection from here onto the coal mine somewhere. I'm not sure. If you're wondering where Everett is, that is the name of the Montezuma that I've decided on giving it. Like it, I think it's kind of cute. I've actually named all the so far. Betsy is just kind of the base name that this style of porter spawns with, so it felt kind of cool to have it be Betsy. But then we've got Hazel over here doing her thing, just chilling, a train. I've been using her to run logs back and forth places because currently, um, Everett, I don't know what his problem is. He's having issues. He's not able to pull the logs. Like, just straight up can't do it. Don't know why. Hazel's doing it, no problem. Over here, as you can see, I've actually gone ahead and double lined a lot of this, which, again, probably saw in the. Maybe you didn't. I'm not sure, but this is where we pick up our cordwood, those logs that you saw. That's where we go. The thing I want to do is go ahead and build the track all the way up along here. So it'll look like it's a 3 lane when it's really not. Here's Everett, by the way. I've got him hauling coaches currently because he they do that. Isn't even though the coaches are heavier, so I don't problem. I think he's just a fussy old machine. He's a engine, that's for sure. Around for a long, long time. But out here, if you're wondering what's going on here, this is the logging line. This is going to be the results that you get out of the logging area, the sawmill stuff. So technically, you can use either track for both of them. They both connect up eventually to the sawmill, or back here. There's a set of points that connect the logging. Ooh, sorry, the logging track onto the sawmill track, like the go to unload product from the sawmill. I'm waiting before we unload any sawmill stuff to get to the iron mine up over. So what I want to do, because the smelter is just over here, which is actually pretty good, because it's just cordwood and iron, iron ore. So technically, as long as I go from the logging camp, go down, go up to the iron mine, then from the iron mine we can go straight to this smelter, which gives us our rails and beams. Then from there we can go ahead and go to, I think, we go to the coal mine first. That'll give us coal. And from the coal mine we go down to the ironworks. So hey, we got a bit of stuff to do still. But that button. This is the current setup that I've got going on for the sawmill. What I want to do and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another track along behind here, and we'll have another refueling station up here because refueling is really important for our engines, especially when they're all wood fired like they are currently. Wood fire engines take a lot of fuel to keep going, so we just go ahead and build that there. As you can see, it spawns without any extra wood, which is why I was playing without using fuel for a little bit, just because it takes a lot to get started. Oh, real sorry about that. But yeah, this is going to be the little refueling side. So the engines drop off their logs while the logs are unloading. They can drive up to here. And you just flip the switch, they back down the line, they grab water, and while they're grabbing water, because everything on this line uses wood for its fuel currently, there are coal power engine, which we'll get to eventually. I have one coal power engine in mind already, but you gotta get to the coal engines. Otherwise, they're just very expensive long ornaments, basically. But yeah, no. So we're gonna build another track back here. I'm thinking either wall or bridge. So what you're probably gonna see here in a little bit is just footage of me setting up this line to keep going from over here all the way back to that other line that was connected up to that cordwood station. Just because it looks like it would work, and my head is doing weird things. So we'll be back once I manage to fix things. I just... How does this even happen, Betsy? What? Everett's over there looking at you. He's laughing at you for what you've done. How did you go into the other car? Or truck, or whatever you want to call it. I blame you for this. Now die. I think it was actually a thing that derailed me, but by God. How the hell did that, of all things, derail me? What are we getting? Flat car first. Okay. I don't get it. Betsy. Betsy, you were in the ground. Hold on, I want a screenshot of this. Betsy is in the ground. Betsy, how did you get into the ground? Betsy. How did you get into the ground, Betsy? That's my question for you. Come on, out of the ground we go. I was hoping just to do a nice, quiet, casual saunter over to the sawmill to start filling up the sawmill place, but no, you gotta run into, like, anything and everything that exists and, like, have a panic about it. Okay, brake is off. I just want to make sure my brakes are off on both these cars, because every time I re-rail stuff, it turns on the brakes. That's just to help slow it down. Using this car's brakes as the way to stop that. There we go. Betsy, what the fuck? I don't know why you gotta, like, try to become a part of the ground. It's not what engines do. You were going along so nicely, too. Like, okay, fuck it. At this point, I'm running ahead of you, because I don't know what's up with these rails. I went ahead and cleared off all of the, like, stuff that would have stopped you, I thought. But I guess not. Jesus, Betsy. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the railroad. I don't remember how much of this I showed you all between last time and this time, but I did play a little bit off camera. Just kind of get things going a little bit better. We got some coaches over here. I think I showed you that. We've also got Hazel. I have been running her. I know I showed you guys her in the last, or in this episode earlier. I'm not entirely sure. I guys showed you her. Been running logs up and down the line for me so I can afford a new engine. Something else I want to do in this episode, in next episode, whatever happens to be the case, is I'd love to build a rail line going up this hill because it looks perfect for a railroad track. And I think it'd be really fun to have a rail going up through this canyon, not cannon. That's a different thing entirely. There's also a hold on, I forget what it's called, a tunnel here. I don't exactly know where it comes out at. Well, obviously it comes out at the other side of this mountain, but, like, I don't know what it would connect up to. So I don't really know why this is down here at all, but there's a couple of these around the map that are kind of cool. So I could have this come up here, and travel it along somewhere. Like I said, I'm not entirely certain what the purpose of this would, other than just to have a cool tunnel entrance and exit, I guess. Oh, it comes out over here by the iron thing. That's cool, but I think this also just straight up, yeah, because there's the smelter over here, which uses cordwood and iron ore and get, like, rails and beams out of it, or rails and steel bars, something. Raw iron. Okay, my bad. That's raw iron. Beams are from the sawmill. Then you pipe it along this way. There's also this over here, which is really cool. This is the iron mine. I personally love the iron mine. It's one of the cooler industries, I think, because loading and unloading is on the same line, basically. So what I want to be able to do is get over to here today, and I think the fastest and easiest way to do that will be to go through this bottom canyon part. It is a kind of a longer canyon, but it's wide, and there's enough room for trains to travel, so I'm not too concerned. I could also just straight up build a cool bridge system up and over.
just for a bit of set dressing, because I do like set dressing. It's kind of nice to have, even if you don't really ever have any like engines or anything using the space. It's just cool to have set dressing. As you can see, though, in order to do that, we're gonna have to do something about this line because there's no real connection over here. I could go ahead and build a Y junction so that these two end two lines can always connect up to it. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this around in a loop, try to get past this other cool smeltery shop over there, the Ironworks. Then we'll keep going up around and we'll go up to the canyon. I think that would work best. I'm not entirely certain though. For now, because I do have, I think, enough. We'll check. 1 second. Yeah, we're actually able to afford the next engine, which I think a replica Glenbrook would be really good, or a sister class is a Glenbrook sister engine. I should say it's not a sister class. It's literally the same model as the preserved Glenbrook. Because I'm pretty sure the Glenbrook in real life. Pretty sure this is one of the only locomotives that I've seen in game that I know or have heard of being preserved. I'll look it up just to double check. Yeah, it looks like the 1875 Glenbrook is actually preserved. It's actually operational, even. That's amazing. It's in the Nevada Rails State Museum, which is cool. That's good to know, actually. But I got this. Okay, so I did do a different paint job though. This is Janet. It's technically not the second engine on the line, but I'm numbering it as number two. Mainly just because well, Hazel's number one, even though technically Everett's the first engine. Then we've got Betsy, which is number six, and yeah, it's weird. I, however, really wanted this engine because in order to make trips from the sawmill up to the iron mines, we're gonna need a a lot of water and fire. B, we're gonna need a nice strong engine. And Hazel's great, don't get me wrong. She's just kind of small and not super great at hauling what we're gonna be hauling. Um, it's literally just a case of Hazel being too small for what I want to. It's the same issue that I have with Everett. Not that Everett's small, it's just that he's very weak. This is a much bigger, much stronger engine. So the hope is that we'll be able to make sure that Janet can actually do her job and get us to where we need to go. I don't know. He's also got air brakes, which is really good. So a little bit of the air, a little bit of the steam goes into the air brakes, which helps make her braking more powerful, which is really good for an engine like it. Who is she's very heavy. What she's going to be hauling is even heavier, so having assisted braking will be very nice. It should make her quite powerful. Plus, got a nice lamp on the front. A pretty good lamp, actually. The other thing I want to buy at some point would be the engine that I'm going to be numbering is number three. It would be Percival. Will be a Denver and Rio Grande Railways class 5? Pretty sure. I can double check. It's a Baldwin locomotive, anyway. I will show you all. Here, it's another little tank engine, but it's a really strong tank engine, which could be good to have as a shunter over in the iron mines for now, or just to do general shunting work. But yeah, as you can see, it might actually be stronger than no Glenbrook. It is actually strong or heavier than the Glenbrook. I don't. No, it's not stronger. It's just heavier, which is good for weight wise. Means that it'll have a little bit easier time shoving stuff. But it's a class 48. That's my glad. Class 25 is the Montezuma. Yeah, the class 25 is the Montezuma. Yeah, they're already way faster than Everett. She hit like 25 going backward. Granted, it was on a little bit of a longer stretch. She's not one doing as much turning, but I think this might be the fastest engine we have. Can I do it again? How did I do it last time? Get close to 25 anyway. So yeah, I think he is at least on par with whatever it should be having for his speed, even though he's kind of suffering. I don't know why. Just isn't doing what he's meant to be doing speed-wise. So something's clearly broken with Everett. But that's fine. Current goal to go ahead and get Janet over here back down. This guy around. Gotta slide down here. We'll fill her up with water because right now she's basically running on whatever's in the boiler, and that's not a whole lot of water. So getting her to somewhere where she gets a little bit more water is probably a good idea. Where does she refill at? Right here? Yeah. As you can see, we got nothing in the tender. It shows there's something in the tender. I don't think there's a empty animation in the tender. There we go. Just gonna casually saunter on down the rails. Pretty fast, actually. I'm very impressed. Good acceleration, although it's got a lot of tractive effort and a lot of weight, so it's gripping the rails real good. I'm hoping it'll keep gripping the rails real good once we get to the point where we're trying to... forward a little bit. Not too much. I want to get about midway under the tower. That should... Okay, so then my next goal is to try and get this set up with water. Slowly go forward. Now we break. Our chuffs. There we go. That should work. Yeah. That'll work. As you can see, it's actually filling up my boiler first, so all the water is immediately getting sucked up by the injectors. I assume it's got injectors. It looks pretty modern. Should have some way to getting the water out of the tender into the boiler anyway. Boiler. Or that. Boiler's more back here. So your fun tubes. Like smoke and other ash and junk. So your smoke box up front. So I know this isn't technically part of the railway I said I was building today, but I do want to get this area at least set up for when I get this far. Because what we're going to do eventually... Hey, this is just going to turn. I'm going to build another Y here, so we have a rail line that runs off and connects over to here somewhere. And this will just be like a shunt trucks in, shunt trucks out sort of situation. Maybe a small yard on this side. But then the other thing I want to do is to take this rail line, run it out past here. I run it up alongside this hillside here, and then we'll run it down into the valley. And not completely sure yet, but figure it out. This should be alright. I think we'll just do a straight pass through here. Just a nice straight section of track. So yeah, no, like I said, I'm doing this at 100 meters, just so that I know I have enough space when we're loading and unloading trucks. I think we'll do 2 trucks per load for this. I don't know how much coal and stuff actually gets dropped off, but we'll work it out, because we need a lot more coal than anything else. This is how you make your tools. You'll see what I mean. This is gonna be really, really tight. We'll try it though. My main fear here is this rail. It does sink really low into the earth, but I think it's high enough up still that it should be fine. Otherwise, this does need to. I think this will be fine. There we go. That should work. I will go then and with the editor tool just to make sure that this looks okay. That. Otherwise, my other plan here is to go ahead and try with that extra 5 meters. Build that switch here. Hoping I can get this to work. Might be too much. Sure. I might have to go through and replace this somewhere else, which is fine. I do intend to put some other stuff in some other spots. I might actually just go ahead and put it off that way somewhere. Please. Yeah, we'll go ahead and... I don't normally like moving these buildings around. Feels very, not what I'm supposed to do. So we'll put it out here somewhere. I think it'll look nicer out here. Go up out here somewhere. We'll just go through and we'll chop down everything. Parts of this map I like, parts of this map I hate. It's just not... Not what I want from this map sometimes. So I do move some stuff around, but I try not to. Like I said, I feel bad when I do, because it obviously makes the game feel easier. Less challenging, but at the same time, I'm in it for a good time. Not for an annoyingly hard time. I'll do this for now. That looks pretty good. Yeah. So at least we know this is over here. Because it does move it on the map, too. Let's see. Also, you can see my rails up on the thing. It's great. What I'm trying to do here is just tell where exactly I'm aiming. Because what I'm trying to do is go from here, go for a pretty straight line, and then go straight into my goal. Which is a little bit harder said than done. Something else I want to do, since I have this zoom in. See, over here is where my one line stops. Go all the way back here, I have more. What I want to do is build more line down into here. So that I do have a 2 wide track, but I also want to make it so that like can connect up from over here. We connect up onto this section of track somehow. Which probably means what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna running this line out from here. It'll run down into here, and we'll have another junction point up. So we have a nice wide loop going from iron ore mine over here, the smelters, because then I can also just run cordwood up to the smelter pretty easy. I can run sawmill goods up to the sawmill goods that I need. I don't. I can also just run stuff down to the iron. Probably more what I was. To be honest with y'all, I would not mind going a little closer to that mountain range, just so that I can have like a cool bridge going up. But there's also not much. But I think if I was closer to this mountain range, I would. Also, that is a curve. There shouldn't be much for speeds there. Shouldn't be. Still not that. Have these lovely jubbly little parts here. Quite honestly, do. I wrote. Good. I do have a lot of old habits, but to building. The way I used to build, basically the switches on curves, like a lot of switches. 2 to 3 lanes of switches, just doing massive curves, like not because I wanted to necessarily, but because I had to. I'm thinking, I guess this does technically imply that the inside track here is the track that we, for whatever our express cargo, whatever you want to call it, track would be. Passengers, faster moving cargo, everything and anything that I would be running normally. Very glad I chose not to go this far over. Gee, I realized it was so hilly. It's not really hilly. It's pretty flat, but it's just more hilly than I wanted. That is not what I wanted. Here we are again with. There we go. And as you can see, I gotta grab Janet. We'll test her on these curves real quick. Alright, we are back. I did more than I intended to this episode. I didn't realize it would do that. I did more than I intended to, though. I'll show you guys what I mean. Oh, that's so cool. That echo. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna run through it real quick. Obviously, we have the full adventuring path up now. We just straight up don't have to worry about getting to the iron mine anymore. You can get trains up here pretty easy, as far as I know. A little bit of sand on some of the parts of the track, that's fine, doesn't really bother the engines that I've tested it on so far. The curves have all been really good too, haven't had any issues. It's a little bit tight through here. I don't know how to fix that. It's basically the same as all the other curves, but it did get us to be a little bit rocky with Janet for a little bit here. I think I have mostly sorted out, but just in case. She doesn't like curves. She's more of a straight runner, so that's kind of why my goal is to put maybe Everett down over here, because he runs straighter, easier. I don't really know. Or curves easier, you know what I'm trying to say. But, as we round this corner, you can see... Ooh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She gets a little bit feisty on some of the corners. As you can see, though, we've got the whole setup going over here. The main line does come to an end currently. I haven't gotten that fully extended. We will route that back into itself, though. So we'll have the full mainline loop, basically, that we can just run an engine on, which will look really cool. Just kind of why I want to get Everett, you know, out here running the coaches around. He'll be the main runner for those, I think. Then we've also got this whole section over here, which is nice. The iron mine area. I put a water tower over here that we can drive up to refuel on water before we start going. I don't know where I'm putting the refueling station yet. I don't know if I'm putting coal out here or wood out here. Probably coal, because coal engines are just way stronger. But we'll see. We keep chugging along down the line. You'll see that we've also got a connection. And this is the part of the track that I have not tested yet, so bear with me. I don't know how this is going to work. But this is the part of the track that leads straight up to the iron ore smelting fighting station area. Like I said, we'll route this main line into itself eventually. That's not right. Whoop. I didn't even have the path set correctly. No. Backing up. Insert that, like, truck backing up sound effect here. It's fun. Come on, Janet. Hey, Janet. Off up here. Gotta change this one too. There we go. So that's where you go to pick up the stuff that it produces. Over here, I think the little cars that I'm going to be using to get stuff back here will work. I'm a little worried about the trees, but I think I got everything cleared off the line. Over here will be, we're just going to shut off steam. Gonna roll into the station over here. Yeah, we're going to go right up to the cordwood line. So we're going to have engines running cordwood up here. Obviously, kind of important to have. I did change the orientation of this building a little bit. I didn't necessarily have to, but I thought it looked cooler like this. That way you could pick up stuff this side. Have all your drop-off stuff back here in the little wooded area. Pick up should be a lot faster than drop-off. You can see we've got plenty of space for a couple of cordwood cars. And yeah, we'll drop all of our iron ore off over here. It's not done yet. I'm going to be building like a little bit further back that way so we can have more space for the iron ore, but this is what I got sorted out. But yeah, good times.